Yeah, Tuesday night, lights low, sparks fly. War report after dark, better fall in line. From WWE to TNA, AU to Spark. Vince the Prince from the Northeast set it off in the dog. OG Steve led the charge. Cat Al, Eric us, 9 p.m. Eastern. Acknowledge the ring, acknowledge us.
What's that metronome I hear? Perhaps the end is drawing near. You never hear the shot that takes you down. Out of time, so say goodbye. What is yours now is mine. And I dream broken dreams. I make them come true. I make them for you.
What was Cody's is now Drew's. He has done the unthinkable, ladies and gentlemen. Drew McIntyre is your new World Heavyweight Championship. A championship that changed hands on a SmackDown. I feel like when was the last time it has dropped outside of like a Mania or like a SummerSlam or Survivor, like a big, one of the big four? I feel like if you look it up, it's been a long time. But welcome everybody to another edition. A lot has gone down between SmackDown and Raw that we need to get into, so there is a lot to cover, but welcome to another edition. Yeah. How you guys doing?
I'm doing great. I think Al is still getting ready over there, but yeah, man, ready to go. I mean, holy shit, that was crazy.
Drew McIntyre, man.
There is a wrestling god. I've been praying to him. And
There has to be.
my prayers. I've been eating my vitamins and saying my prayers actually,
Brother.
and it worked out, brother.
Brother.
And I don't know what I'm more excited about. And there's very few things that get me more excited than Cody not being champion. But I truly think McIntyre winning it supersedes that at this moment. So I'm uberly excited, dude.
I don't. So I'm good with it. I mean, listen, like I've been saying. I mean, you can't keep putting Drew in this situation and him not win.
No.
However, let's talk about how we got there, right? So you had the first match, which again, I think just for 3 stages of hell to have the first match, just a regular one-on-one match, just seemed odd to me. But it was a great match. I think the result is what I expected it to be. And then you get to the second fall, which is Falls Count Anywhere. That was great. And I liked the finish to that. And then that brings you to the cage. The cage match is great. These guys are beating the shit out of each other forever. I mean, it really was a great match all around. And then we get to the finish where, in true heel form, because of distraction, Drew McIntyre slides out the door, hits the floor, and becomes your champion. I love everything about it. However, we had the return of the werewolf, Jacob Fatu, which, what's funny to me, I never dawned on me that Jacob would show up. I think mentally I just had it in my head at this point we were going to get a surprise at the Rumble return.
Yeah.
I didn't think we were going to get him now, but it does make sense because in his eyes, McIntyre's the one that put him out. We still have not gotten confirmation if that was Drew McIntyre or not, but Drew McIntyre is who everyone thought it was, right? And then the werewolf is unhinged. Cody touches him, so Cody gets his ass whooped by the werewolf, but that leads to Drew escaping. So now, how does this play out with Jacob? Do we get Cody, Jacob, the winner gets Drew? Do we get a triple threat? Is Jacob going to win the title? Or is Cody going to get it back? Are we going to get a run with Drew? Like, I have so many questions.
Isn't Solo in that new challenge thing for the title?
Solo's been busy dealing with the
tournament going on,
Wyatts. Solo's been dealing with the Wyatts.
Yeah, it was like a faction.
Solo, I'm sorry.
faction thing.
I mean, not Solo. Oh my God, Jesus Christ! His cousin, Jacob. Isn't Jacob in that tournament right now?
What tournament?
Isn't there like a tournament now that they just
Solo's
talked about
in
for
the
the heavyweight
tournament,
champion or for the title? They
Or
said
no,
some
maybe
name.
Solos.
Did I miss something?
There's a tournament going on to determine who's challenging. Well, we thought Cody, but now Drew. There's like
Correct.
an 8-man tournament.
Exactly, and who were in that tournament? Wasn't Jacob Fatu in that tournament?
No, he was in
Jacob
a-
just returned, so
Yeah, they've been working on his.
like we haven't even heard. I mean, this week is going to be the first time we hear from Jacob since he's been off TV. So whatever tournament, if he's going to be in it, he's going to announce that he's going in it now, I guess.
I thought it was said Monday.
What did I miss? What tournament?
There is a tournament going on, though.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the championship.
Did this get announced on Raw or SmackDown?
SmackDown, I believe. Well, it was like 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago.
I'm so confused.
Yeah, let me see here.
Definitely.
So
a
the following
tournament.
matches will take place next week on SmackDown in London. Randy Orton versus The Miz. Matt Cardona versus Trick Williams. Solo Sikoa versus Damian Priest. Sami
Oh,
Zayn
that's
versus
right. I
Ilya
do
Dragunov.
remember this. Yeah,
Correct.
yeah, yeah.
That is
Okay.
it. That is it. See,
you're
I'm not
right.
going crazy.
No, you're not. I do remember that now. I do remember that.
So that's that tournament that eventually whoever, probably Sammy, is going to end up challenging Drew and losing because, you know, you can't have Drew lose before the Rumble.
Well, you could. I don't think they will. No. I do think this is not going to be a long run, though. Either Cody's going to win it right back, or maybe they do give it to Jacob. I mean, everything I've heard is that WWE is prepared for Jacob to get a monster push in 26. So what bigger push than throw him into the world title?
Yeah,
I don't know that that's necessarily a good idea either, don't get me wrong. But I have heard it.
I don't think it's a good idea because I think, again, like...
well, you don't want him losing.
You don't want him losing if that's truly what you're looking to do with him in the near future. So unless he's looking to win right away and he gives us the holy shit factor, and you have the belt for a weekend or a one night stand, for better like of saying, it's the only way I would accept it. I would hate for him to lose. You know, that's the main thing. You got to protect him if they're going to push him.
Yeah. So here's what I kind of heard over the last couple of days. They changed. They made
Mania
the decision. Plans. Yeah, they changed Mania plans. They made the decision to change the title on like Wednesday, because Cody was scheduled to keep the title, and then they made the change on Wednesday. They're going forward with Drew as champion. Eventually, and it's either going to be Royal Rumble or WrestleMania, there's going to be a triple threat with Cody, Jacob, and Drew for the title. That might end up being the Rumble match, and that would be a way for, I don't know, Cody could get the title back and not pin Drew, or pin Drew and not pin Jacob. It depends. So that's the plan going forward. That's the match that's scheduled, and I don't know if there hasn't been a determination whether or not that match is Rumble or if that match is WrestleMania.
What I do like is now they have caused more questions than answers, and I like that. Well, like, we really don't know which direction this is going to go, and it could change a bunch of times up until then anyway. So
right, and that was the decision. They felt that everybody saw that Cody was kind of going to be on ice for a while until Roman, to do Cody versus Roman at WrestleMania. So they thought it was just too predictable for Cody to win, which leads to Drew winning. But then, do you still go, are you faking people out to just go with the original plan, or are you changing course and WrestleMania now is being affected?
Well, and then the other question I have too, and I already know the answer for myself, but I want to see what you guys think, so I'm going to throw it out. Could this be the potential Cody turn? Like Cody Homelander type of deal or some shit, since he's got the same. I mean, you know, what if it is revealed that Cody is the one that took out Jacob Fatu? The crowd is going to get behind Jacob Fatu.
They would.
Right? So, I mean, I personally don't think you can turn Cody. I don't think you can turn him now or anytime soon. I've said that for a long time. I think there's just too much money for the WWE machine in Cody being a face.
He did, the boo birds were starting to come out, but it was Europe.
But he's right. He's overseas. They always boo.
Yeah.
I mean, the true will be when they're home, and I think the next time they're back, they're in the Carolinas, so they're in,
His
Flair
territory.
country, right? So.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I agree with you. I don't think they'll turn him, but I do think it's an interesting thought. There's a path to doing that where, kind of like Drew, if Jacob or whomever starts to like screw Cody out of his opportunities, and like he loses a match because of or loses a title match because of interference or whatever again, and slowly starts to spiral like Drew did, of like, oh, my opportunities are being stolen, people are, I'm being the one being screwed with all this stuff. You could kind of take it that way, and then eventually you could even have a babyface Drew and a heel Cody, and it's the very similar kind of vibes, but it's just they flip where they align.
So what I see transpiring here is, yes, I agree with you guys. Rapid, holy shit, right away, Cody turns heel. No, for Cody to turn heel, I would like to see some sort of long drag frustration from this man, that the only thing he could turn to is becoming that 180 degree of who he is now. I wouldn't want it to be just overnight, because there's nothing behind it. Like, what cost it? Like, you've won every match you've had. You just had a kid. You're fucking rich. You have great suits. Like, what could go wrong with your life? I want to see him struggle. Like, right now, we complain Cody don't lose enough. Well, guess what? I want to see a fucking Cody streak of losing. And not losing the point that he gets beat, like, fairly. No. People could cheat at him. People could do it the wrong way, and that's what truly gets him over that border. Like, you know what? If you can't beat him, fucking join him.
I want to see that as much as I want to see a solid championship run out of Drew McIntyre. I really hope they don't have him drop it, too quickly. Let the guy have. He's just been such a workhorse, and he's been such a great heel. He's been the great Joker to Cody Rhodes' Batman. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's been everything about the heel Drew McIntyre character has been great. So let him have a solid run and let Cody lose a little. I agree.
Yeah, he's won so much in the last couple years, and that's what you do with your big baby face. People want to see him win. But at the same time, like, I don't know, there was points where it was just like, Cody's not losing this. You just know you're watching the show. You're like, Cody's not losing.
How many people still went into this title match saying, like, there's still a really good chance you were one of them?
Yeah,
that was like, Cody's not dropping the title, and sure as shit, he drops it on a fucking SmackDown,
which is fantastic,
right? I mean, it was well done. It was well done. And I liked the return of Jacob Fatu. I'm excited. I'm excited for him. Randy Orton's back. What a great time to come back with that kind of crowd. It gave you all the feels. You got a great Randy promo. But what was even better is you got interrupted by the newest member of the brand in Trick Daddy Williams, who got one of the loudest pops of the night.
Yep.
He's so over, it's insane.
He looks the fucking par, man. That's the thing.
Oh,
he
yeah.
does.
Yeah.
He can talk. He looks good. He can wrestle.
Fucking heavyweight championship.
Yep. So he has a confrontation with Randy Orton, which was great. And then it went into a match against Rey Fenix, which was a great match. And it was good to see Trick get over and start his run, on the brand.
Yeah.
I really am just waiting for them to put Ray with his brother and call it a day. Like, you got him with Dragon Lee, and we'll get into that, but put them all together. Like, just don't call it the LWO.
Right.
Call it something else.
The one time
Yeah.
we're okay with them lumping all the Spanish guys together, they won't fucking do it. They'll put together Colombians and Puerto Ricans and Dominicans to make an LWO, but
Yeah.
they won't put the Mexican guys all in masks. Like, what the fuck? It's the easiest slam dunk in the world. They all have masks. They're all from Mexico. They all know each other. It's a fucking it's a team right there. Done.
And they work so fucking well together. Like, people always say the Usos are great because they just know each other. They know what's coming. They share a brain, right? It's the same thing with these guys.
Yeah.
Especially, like, wait until you guys see Penta and Rey Fenix on TV together. Like, if you haven't seen it in AEW or Lucha Underground or whatever, wait until they put them together on WWE TV.
100%.
You're going to see some crazy shit. So,
And it's tough because you do want those guys as singles wrestlers, but there's so much money on the table when it comes to them as a tag team because they haven't touched any of the tag teams at all right now. They're not together. You haven't had them against the New Day. You haven't had them against the Usos. Like, there's the War Raiders. There are so many opportunities out there for great
I don't even think
tag
that they've
team.
alluded to the fact that they're brothers on WWE TV.
They might have mentioned it once or twice. I don't even know. I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
So,
But I don't dislike Dragon Lee. I just feel like they keep bouncing them around with these
yeah,
random
but you
people.
know what, though? Dragon Lee and Penta together was phenomenal.
Yeah,
last-
it is a good team.
They were so good together. So you had Julia versus Alexa Bliss. It was a good match, but Charlotte wasn't there. Julia gets over. There was shenanigans, of course. But then one of the other big matches of the night, you had MFT versus the Wyatt Six. That was great. I enjoyed it. I like, when you see Tala Tonga and Redbeard going at each other. Of course, the Wyatt Six lose again. But the belts weren't on the line, so there's that. But I think it's just a matter of time before the MFTs take the tag titles.
I think so. And that Tala Tonga, listen, he's no Harley Race in the ring, but when he gets in there, the reaction, he's just such a big freaking guy
Yeah.
that the crowd just loves it, and it's a spectacle. And that's part of wrestling, is like, if you're not going to be a great wrestler, you should at least be a spectacle. And that guy is all. And like you said, you have him pair up with another big dude, like the visual of big bald dude with a red beard, and then this other big Tongan guy, and it's like an old gladiator pit or something, just two different tribes going at it. And you're like, this is war. Yeah.
Yeah, it was great. And I also like how Solo stole the lantern. So that's kind of a big deal. So obviously this whole thing is going to continue, which is good because at least it gives the Wyatt Six something continued to do. It's not like we see them very much. Alba Fire, Jordana Grace. So Jordan Grace made her official debut on the roster. She didn't get much of an ovation, to be honest, which I was surprised with because it's not like people don't know who she is. She put on a good match with Alba Fire, but it's Alba Fire, so I don't think anybody really gives a shit. But it did give Jordan Grace an opportunity to showcase, I guess, to people who didn't know who she is, what she can do. I mean, she's just a powerhouse. So she's going to be a good addition to the brand for sure. They had a face-off in the rampway with her and Jade Cargill, where Jade kind of came out and like a dog marked her territory. So there's some good potential there.
I think so, and it is. I mean, listen, people do know. There's a certain amount of the crowd that knows TNA isn't really as big as it once was, but like people still know her from that, and from like she had a great indie run before she went to TNA. Like she's really, I've seen her in several matches across a lot of different companies, and I mean she's great, and she got into fantastic shape. Maybe too fantastic shape. Maybe put down the horse meat and the special milkshakes It's not just protein powder, is what I'm saying. Holy shit!
Yeah,
But-
that's for sure.
But I think it's a great idea to take somebody like her and eventually put her up against Jade, because that's going to help Jade out a lot to have
Oh, yeah.
a veteran in the ring with her. But also, like Jordan Grace, she gets to really show out and kind of, in a big way, you're challenging for a title. So people kind of, if you get pushed to a title challenge right away when you make your debut, people understand you're a big deal. And like, even if you don't win, as long as she puts on a good showcase, she could have, ride
Well,
the momentum.
And going up against somebody like Jade Cargill is going to give her the ability to showcase her strength, because
Yes.
it'll be very believable that she can throw Jade around like as if she was as tall as Jade. Because again, she is a powerhouse. So it'll be fun to watch, and I do think you're right. I think it'll help Jade out a lot. It'll be good for both of them. So I think that's just a matter of time. You got Carmelo Hayes versus Shinsuke. It was good to see Shinsuke back, back being a face, the old Shinsuke. They put on a great match because they're both phenomenal in the ring.
Right.
But as usual, Shinsuke comes back and loses again. There was a nice sign of respect. I'm not saying he should have won, because you put him in a situation where Carmelo just won the title, so he's got to win. But again, we put these guys in these situations like, fucking Christ, Shinsuke deserves a win every now and then.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's rough. I mean, like you said, you put him in a match against somebody who just won a title. He can't lose.
Right.
The new champion can't lose. But maybe don't book him in the match. Like, you realize that every time you put Shinsuke out there, you're putting him out there to basically, like, do the job, and it's just like, oh, he's probably going to lose. Like, he needs, in order to effectively be somebody that puts somebody over, you need to win matches too. You need to be credible, and then you lose and you make Carmelo look credible.
Right.
But yeah, man, I think they should just put him in there against, I don't even think he's with the company anymore, but a guy like Ridge Holland. You know what I mean? You put him in there against Ludwig Kaiser.
Ridge Holland got released.
Yeah, so, but you know what I mean? You put him with a guy at that level. And so let's say it's like Ludwig, whoever it is. You pick a lower level guy, and he beat, and I'm not saying Ludwig Kaiser as one of the Americano guys. I just mean like a lower to mid card non-title holder that Shinsuke can run through in a couple minutes, do his little pose, hit the Kinshasa, look good, build up a couple of those, and then do this match against Carmelo. Because then it's not just like, oh, Shinsuke on another losing streak.
Right. Especially when it's kind of like, oh, we haven't seen him in forever, and now he's back, yay, and then he loses again.
Right, he gets a big pop,
Yeah.
and then, it is a surprise. And
But it was a great match. I mean, but again, you expect that out of both of them. I mean, Carmelo Hayes has been hitting on all cylinders lately.
Yeah.
So real happy for him. All right. Let's shift over to Raw. Raw had some very interesting moments. You had your new tag team champions come out on the women's side. Rhea Ripley, Io Sky. They cut a good promo. That led them basically putting out an open challenge, so to speak. And then you had the shenanigans. You had Bayley come out with Lyra Valkyrie saying they should get the shot. The crowd did the whole Bayley chant, which was awesome. The crowd was great, as always, international crowd.
Oh, yeah.
You had Liv Morgan and Roxanne Perez come out saying that the title shot should be theirs. I was waiting for Alexa Bliss and Charlotte, but we didn't get that. But we did get Asuka and Carrie jump, and then it became a melee. And of course, the last two standing were Rhea and Io. But that set up a match for later on, where it was going to be a 3 women's tag match. Winning team is going to face Rhea. So it was a good way to kind of set up one of your main events. It wasn't the main event, because the main event was Gunther versus AJ Styles. But
yeah, we'll get to
that. So it was a good way to open the show. You had Bonte Javon Evans. He fought one of the Americanos. He's fun. I see big things for him. I'm glad he got his opportunity on the main roster. He's another one that's been putting out some bangers. So, and I like the whole bouncy thing. I think it's funny. But that guy can do some crazy shit.
He is such a high flyer, man, and he's not a small dude, which is awesome to see.
Yeah, he's tall.
He's pretty tall.
And so we kind of got, when they moved up 3 guys, Trick, Javon, and Oba, and you have 3 different sizes, basically. You've got like a lean, tall guy who does high flying stuff in Trick here, and then you've got let me just make sure I get everybody's names right. No, in Javon, and then Trick is more like Al said, like a heavyweight guy, and then you've got super duper heavyweight Obafemi, and
Powerhouse.
yeah, which is great that you didn't just bring up 3 guys that were all kind of the same height and build and kind of, you know what I mean? Like you brought up 3 guys that can fit in 3 different spots.
Here's one thing I also do like. When we were kids and we would be watching Superstars, right? And we'd start to see these vignettes play week after week after week. We had this guy, Razor Ramon, and he'd like pull up in a Cadillac and he'd have the toothpick and he'd cut this Scarface type promo. I'm coming. And it was week after week after week. And then you finally got the debut and it was like a whole build of vignettes and videos. I feel like they're doing that with Oba. And the video package has been awesome. And they're doing it for those who are not familiar with the NXT brand. I mean, how could you not be familiar with Oba after his match with Cody? But I like how they're doing these vignettes, and it's just a matter of time. But the way they're shooting it with his eyes popping out and everything, dude, he is going to get pushed to the moon immediately.
And it's very old school. Like, this is a bad comparison because the guy scrubbed out pretty fast, but this is how they introduced, like, Nathan Jones.
Good day.
And there's a lot of the guys like that where it's, especially with giants or guys that they want to be giants, they'll do these kind of things where they show like a close up on the eyes and then like a big choke slam and like a big power move, and then he's like walking down a hallway but the camera's kind of low so he looks like he's 10 feet tall. I love it. I think you do that, like you said, to get the people familiar with him, and just based on the fact that he vacated the NXT title. He didn't even put somebody over. It wasn't a match where there was like interference or like he got rolled up and kind of surprised or any number. You know, you can do a lot of things to get an out in a match and get the result you want. But they said, no, we don't want him putting over anybody before he goes to the main roster. So he vacates the NXT title. We have these vignettes running. There's no way he's not in a big match at WrestleMania. He might win the Rumble. Like he went from off the radar for the most part to wrestling on the John Cena retirement show to now potentially being a Rumble pick over guys like Braun Breaker.
So here's what I'll say to that. I still stick to what I've been saying for the last few weeks. I'm sticking with Breaker. I think Breaker wins the Rumble. I do think you're going to get some incredible moments in the Rumble with Oba. I mean, if you think about it, Oba clears the ring, Brock Lesnar comes out, or Brock is already in the ring cleaning house and Oba's music hits and he has that Keith Lee moment, well, who the fuck is this guy, right? And then you have Oba and Brock nose to nose, or Gunther, or, I mean, I can keep going, but the potential, I mean, even if you bring Omos back for the Rumble, because they usually do, you have Omos and Oba face-to-face, like, you can have some amazing moments in this Rumble, and Oba doesn't have to win to have those moments. You know what I mean?
Right.
Braun needs to win the Rumble, and we'll get more into that later, but I'm sticking with that. But Oba, I for sure is going to be in that Rumble.
Yeah. Oh, he's going to, and
I mean, at this point, we may not see him on TV until the Rumble.
It's very possible. And then
I mean, we're only a few weeks away at this point.
Yeah. He might be Final Four in the Rumble. If he doesn't win, he might be Final Four.
You imagine if the Final Four, 3 out of the 4 are the NXT call-ups that you just had up?
No way.
It won't happen. No, of course it won't happen, but could you imagine? Like, talk about a shock.
I think the place will get booed if that happens.
I don't know
I
about
think
that.
you've definitely got Braun in the final four. You might have Oba in the final four.
Randy Orton.
Ra-
Or
Orton's
are
a
you
good-
counting Bronson as NXT? No, right?
No, Braun Breaker
No.
or Bronson? No. He was talking about if you had Javon, Trick,
Javon and the
Oba,
other two. Gotcha.
which would be crazy, but I don't think he'll
Expect you. Let me expect Javon to do something crazy during the Rumble.
he'll be the new he could probably
He'll be the
Kofi-
new Kofi Kingston. Yeah.
But I
Right.
don't want him to just be that Kofi Kingston, do the spot and get eliminated. I want him to actually like fucking do well in this Rumble.
Well, and he might. I mean, listen, they're pushing the hell out of the kid. So, but CM Punk comes out. Crowd is hot for him. Cuts a great promo, as CM Punk always does. Basically says he's moving on. He needs his next competitor. And who comes out? Finn Balor. Prince Devitt comes out. I kind of wish this led to like the return of the Demon. They're going to be in Ireland next week. They cut a great promo together. They're going to be in Ireland next week, so that match is happening. But I don't see CM Punk losing the title.
No, I'm especially not to Finn. Like that's just not going to
No.
happen, especially with the way they've been booking him for the last decade.
Could be a great match, though.
I think it'll be a good match, and I think based, and I didn't listen to it. I just kind of got recaps of it. Cody and Finn did Cody's podcast last week.
Yeah, apparently Finn smokes a lot of weed while he's training.
Yeah. He said he smokes weed. Listen, I get that. If the only way I can go on a treadmill is by doing that first, and that's funny. But Cody and Finn were talking, and the way Finn was talking about the Demon is like he's done with it, which I completely get because the fucking thing's dead. It's dead like Drew.
That's
was
not what he
dead.
said, though. Go back and listen to the whole thing.
But I mean,
What he said was he was disappointed with the first run of it because Vince wanted it to be one thing. Finn wanted more control of it. He didn't get it. And it just wasn't used the way he wanted. He would be willing to bring back the Demon if he had the control of how it worked. And I think Triple H might be the one to give him more of that room for suggestion. So I think there's still an opportunity that we might get one day the Demon back. It's not going to be now, though. There has to be build to it, right? Like, you know, you have to slowly start to see the transition of, all right, what's happening? The Demon's coming out kind of thing, right?
Yeah, and here's the thing about the Demon. They wanted it to look. I mean, the paint changed a little bit, but they had the look, the red and the black things in the hair, the tassels. The mouth was a certain way. The tongue had to be a certain color. There was like all the, you know what I mean? They had a very specific look that they wanted for like toys. And so when they made the video game, you couldn't change the look of the Demon up too much on, in real life, because then
Right.
it wouldn't look like all the other stuff. When he originally started doing the body paint in Japan, he would do superheroes. He'd do Venom and Carnage and Wolverine or whatever, Batman. He would do different properties. It's kind of in the same way Rey Mysterio
Well-
would have costumes with different
Well,
properties.
however, when you're dealing with TV rights,
Right.
that's going to be a massive copyright issue for WWE if he comes out with a Marvel character painted on him, right?
But they also exist in a world where they work with Netflix and a bunch of other companies that could give them the okay. They really should have done on the Stranger Things episode. He should have came out as the Demon, styled with like Stranger Things Demogorgon paint, so he looked like something out of Stranger Things.
yeah.
Like little
I mean,
things like that.
I think at this point it has to be something massive
Yeah,
where it comes back. You know what I
and
mean?
the look has to be different. It just there was something about it that it was cool, but it just like it lacked a little something.
It's also a shame that there's been no build-up to this match against Punk. I mean, it's already next week
Yeah.
because you could have built it up where, a bunch of things leading up to it pushed Finn over the edge. But you literally have 1 week where there's just no build to this at all. They're only doing it because they're in Ireland. So they want it for, Balor. CM Punk is going to get booed out of the building that night.
Yeah, pretty much. Which is fine because he can, like you said, it's Europe.
Yeah,
He come back to the
people
United
know.
States.
Everything goes back to normal.
Exactly.
So we got the Kabuki Warriors, Bailey, Lyra, Roxanne, and Liv. Roxanne and Liv are the ones that win. So it looks like we're going to get Roxanne and Liv versus Rhea and Io. So that'll be fun to watch. Although Rhea and Io just won the belts, so I don't see that changing anytime soon. Raquel Rodriguez has an interview in the Rampway. Stephanie Vaquer comes out. Referees kind of separate them. Stephanie cuts a promo, and Raquel comes out and just completely destroys Stephanie again. So I don't know if they are officially writing Stephanie off TV or they're just continuing with this. I can't see it being a legit injury because they keep going to it on TV. So we'll see. But it looked good. But Stephanie's been taking a beating the last couple of weeks.
And maybe she just needs a couple weeks off. Maybe she just has like a minor injury, doesn't need to go away to have surgery or anything. Just needs
Right.
not walk on it for a bit.
It's possible. Then Bronson Reed, Austin Theory versus Dragon Lee and Penta. So first time on WWE TV, you're watching Dragon Lee and Penta together. And boy, was that fun to watch. The match itself was good. Congratulations, Logan Paul, on officially becoming a full-time WWE superstar and signing a long-term deal. So he's officially all in. And I give him all the credit in the world. I am becoming a Logan Paul fan in the WWE.
You're not one yet?
I mean, I am in certain aspects, but even his heelish character, I'm just falling in love with him. Like, he's just doing a great job. It was a great match, him and Bronson and Austin Theory. Of course, shenanigans. Braun Breaker, if you haven't seen it, because you don't get to see it really when you're watching it on TV, but there's drone footage out there of him running the entire length of that ramp and literally spearing Dragon Lee in half. Interfering, causing the match to end in a DQ. This is where it gets really interesting because Mr. Pierce is fuming, and when I say fuming, he's screaming, yelling, he's foaming at the mouth, screaming at Braun that he said he didn't want this. He's so tired of all the bullshit. While he's doing that, there's a tsunami happening in the ring to Penta. So now he gets in Bronson's face. Pierce is just absolutely losing it. Puts his hands on Braun Breaker, who then goes after Pierce. Refs have to break it up, ultimately leading to a suspension of Braun Breaker indefinitely, and Heyman pointing out the fact that Adam Pierce touched Bronson first. And they left it at that. I'm sure that is going to alleviate the suspension. But now my question is, are we replacing Pierce? Are we putting Pierce in a match with Braun Breaker? I like Pierce's GM on the record. I think he's doing a great job.
Do you remember, and this is the only reason I'm bringing it up, because I don't think this is what's happening, but I can't discount it now. Do you remember a couple weeks ago there was a rumor, or maybe it was a suggestion by Mark Henry or Bubba Ray Dudley or something on Busted Open, that Jericho should come back and be general manager instead of being a wrestler?
I did hear that. I don't like that idea, at least not right away. I'd rather see Jericho be a competitor and then fade into the GM, or unless he's GM, but that leads into him becoming an active wrestler again. I guess that could work too.
I was just about to say that. What if that were to happen? I wouldn't mind that.
Or something where it's like Adam Pearce goes, all right, Paul Heyman, you're right. I'm not allowed to touch the superstars, but my new co-GM or assistant GM, Chris Jericho, can. He's allowed, and he can wrestle them. And then you've got like a co-GM wrestling, and maybe Jericho ousts Adam Pearce so he can be the GM and have all the power, or maybe he figures he doesn't want to be GM and becomes a wrestler.
I mean, I kind of like that better only because then you still have something to do with Adam Pearce. You know what I mean? Like, I think Pearce has been doing a great job, so I wouldn't want to see him lose the position completely. So a co-situation, I could be down for that.
Or like even if you like hired him as like, remember like Deputy Austin or whatever, he could just be like, a deputy to the GM and do his dirty business. Like, right. He could come back and feud against Braun and be like, that's a good name to put against Braun. And I know Jericho should probably win his first feud back, but putting him with a young guy like Braun, he can share the ring with him, go back and forth on the mic like Punk, and then eventually have a solid match with a good worker.
You could have Bronson Reed and Oba Femi face-to-face in that Rumble. I don't know why that just came to me, but, like, could you just imagine those two?
Yep.
Fucking Christ. Like, I want to see a tsunami to Oba and Oba just get up and no-sell the shit out of it.
Oh, that'd be wild. And
you know what I mean? Like, anyway, sorry. That was just completely off topic. But that brings us to the main event. We have AJ Styles versus Gunther. What did we think? I to be honest, I thought the match was great. I enjoyed the match completely. I didn't hate the finish. I actually really liked the finish because it just shows you how smart Gunther is. Like, he knows he can tap him on that side. The ref's out of position. He's not going to see it. It'll break the hold. AJ will then be distracted by it, thinking he won.
Right.
Low blow, powerbomb. Like, to me, it was brilliant. And it's very heelish, which works for Gunther's character. Doesn't hurt AJ at all because he didn't lose cleanly. That could lead to a match again down the road during AJ's official retirement run. So I liked it.
I think it probably would have been better if the camera angle was better because the way that they filmed it, it didn't. They were on the back end.
You saw it better on the replay.
Right.
You're right. Because when I was watching it live, I was like, what the fuck just happened? When they showed the replay and showed that other angle, you could see it clearly. And then I was like, oh, okay, there it is. So you're right. The camera angle should have been better. Yeah.
I think if they had that replay angle as the TV angle, I would in the moment I would have liked it better. It did once, like you said, on replay, and talking about it with hindsight, that makes perfect sense. I didn't love the idea of Gunther tapping out, but also, like you said, it's
he didn't really
He didn't really tap out. It was just it's that Brazilian tap. It's it's definitely a strategy, and it's used a lot in MMA as well, where they try and hide it from the ref and give a little tap like this, and the guy will instinctively let go, and then boom, you're back in the game.
Very smart, and dirty, which is great. So I enjoyed it. I liked everything about it. I thought to be in that position. That was the perfect way to do it. And it's just something that you just don't see very often. So I was good with it completely. Just a reminder, put it out there. This Thursday on AMC is the debut episode of TNA.
Wow.
On AMC. So a new evolution of TNA. So I definitely suggest everyone check it out if you're a wrestling fan. You are going to see some familiar faces. AJ Styles, the face that ran that place since its inception, will be returning. Bully Ray will be commentating in the main event match with Kazarian and Santos or Santana, and then tons of other stuff. I would expect they're gonna treat it like a pay-per-view because it's their first one, so it should be pretty exciting. You got the Hardys, and there's that nice crossover business between WWE and TNA right now, so you just never know who's going to show up.
That's the amazing thing about it is, like, first of all, it's amazing that TNA is back on TV for the first time in many, many years. You used to have to go to some weird channels, Destination America.
Well, they've been
Pop
on TV, but it's like it's a network that nobody has.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You have to
Right.
either, you have to have like a streaming thing or like a. You can even sign up on their YouTube. They would have like TNA. You know, they would show you the broadcast on there if you didn't have the channel. So like for them to be on like a big cable channel now, that's pretty cool. I think AJ coming back is fantastic. I think if this is really it for him and he's retiring at the end of the year, he should absolutely 100% win the TNA title and then put over Santana or somebody else on his way out.
You know, and this is another rumor that's been going around, and I don't think it's going to happen, but I'll just play with it. It's a company that Jericho has never been in,
It's true.
and to have a working relationship with WWE, you have him show up in TNA. I mean, you know,
That could be a big moment for TNA. Like that would instantly make people want to tune in the next week if Jericho comes out and makes a surprise appearance, first time ever in TNA.
yeah.
Yeah, that could be great. I mean, it's all. It sounds good, man. I just, as a longtime TNA guy who followed TNA very closely for a very long time, deep down it's still TNA, and I just don't want them to fuck it up the way that they usually do.
You know, but I will say this, and you are so entitled to feel that way because of history.
Remember what they did with ECW when they brought ECW back?
Yeah. But in this case, just remember they still have survived over 20 years. So they have found a way. They're like that little engine that could. Like it just keeps finding a way. And now they have their biggest opportunity, I think, since Spike TV. So, because I think at one point, years and years ago, they were on Spike, I think. So,
Yes,
Yeah.
that was
They
their
were.
first. Well, they were on Fox Sports Net, and then they were off TV for a little while, and then they got the deal with Spike, and they were on Spike for a very long time. And now Spike's not even a thing anymore.
yeah. I wish them all the best, man. I'll be
yeah.
tuning in. I sent my DVR. I was kind of excited because I
When
haven't
is it
been
again?
able to watch this Thursday on AMC. I want to say it's 8 o'clock.
Yeah, it's probably 8 o'clock.
It's either 8 or 9. I have it set already.
Yeah, and now we're 18 days out from the Royal Rumble. We've got
You got that, and you got Saturday night's main event before that.
ooh.
And you also have the Unreal that comes out next Tuesday.
Yes.
Oh, there's a new episode of that coming out. Okay.
Yeah.
Episodes, yes, all together. They all come out.
Yep. Season 2.
Yep.
Um,
It leads up to what? SummerSlam, is it?
I don't remember. I just know that the ones that are featured this season are Becky Lynch, Seth Rollins, Jelly Roll, Logan Paul, Penta, Seth Rollins.
Jelly roll.
Yeah. So it looks good. I that show gets such a mixed bag. You know, does it say too much? Does it, open up the curtain too much and this and that? Is it revealing all the tricks? And, at the end of the day, it's still a WWE production. It's still a TV show. They're not showing you everything. They are showing you more than they ever have in certain aspects, but I think in a very cool way. Like, there's something to be said watching a bunch of those guys in the conference room talking creative, and just giving you a little insight of what goes on. It just gives you more of an appreciation for what they do. It humanizes them more. They're not just these larger than life characters on TV. I like it. I'm a big fan.
I'm gonna have to watch. It just first of all, I fucking refuse with this Netflix stuff because everything I want to watch is on a different streaming thing, whether it's HBO Max or
Yeah.
Hulu or some other garbage platform. So I just don't have Netflix right now. Fuck it. But I'll have to watch. I think you're right, because even when a magician reveals part of a trick, they don't ever give you the full trick. And I think that's what they're doing with this show. They're giving you enough, but they're not giving you the full bore. And I even think some of it, I don't want to say some of it is kayfabe, but I think some of it they find a way to talk about the booking without like going into very specific, like, well, this guy's not over and he didn't sell enough t-shirts, so we're moving on, or like, we have this to say, they give you some stuff, but they don't there's another layer underneath that we're not getting.
It's even
it's like the saying, everything I've shown you. You don't know everything I know, or whatever that saying is.
Yeah.
It's like, you just know what I've taught you. You
Right.
don't know everything that I know.
Tara, I wouldn't let young fans watch it. Destroys the magic. I just disagree. I think if you watch it, you know that it doesn't ruin it. If anything, it'll give them more of a reason to appreciate what these guys do day in and day out. It even goes into detail about the whole R-Truth deal. Him getting released and coming back, and like it goes into detail with that kind of stuff. I think I'm a fan of it. Jassim over at YouTube, the undisputed vote looked better on Drew McIntyre anyway. Oh, the undisputed title looks better on Drew McIntyre anyway, because I honestly don't want to hear what Cody Rhodes have to talk about. It's not a gutter mouth convention. It's a wrestling match. Jassim clearly not a fan of Cody Rhodes.
That's wild.
I still like Cody Rhodes. He's a good wrestler, but he needs to change. What do you want to talk about to something different? A different catchphrase. The one he has now is boring. You know what? That I agree with Jassim. It drives me crazy when he comes out and he's like, what do you want to talk about? It drives me crazy when CM Punk comes out and says, is it great to be alive in Chicago today or what? Like,
fucking hate that.
it drives me fucking crazy. So I'm with you, Jassim. I'm not a fan. Tara, I told my brother not to let my nephews. Okay.
I think if I understand what she's saying, you want to keep the Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny of it for the kids for as long as possible. But
I mean,
if they're 12 or 13, they probably have caught on. But if they're like 8, I don't know. I would.
You know what? That's fair. Tara, how old are the nephews?
Yeah, well, I'm sure she'll
respond.
It takes a second for the signal to go out and come back. So
yeah, but I'm curious because you're right. If they're young kids, then yeah, don't let them know Santa's not real unless you have to. That I agree with.
But if they're like 12, 13, 14, like
they know already. They have friends that have already said, it's fake, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh,
here we go. We're Jassim while we're waiting.
Jassim, I feel like Breaker is the next future star because did you see how he speed your Dragon League?
Talk about holy shit.
Your Dragon League try to hospital.
Well, he's saying that spear might have put Dragon Lee in the hospital.
We did talk about it.
Did we talk about that spear? I mean,
I said how they didn't show it. They didn't show it properly on TV.
Right.
But if you went on like TikTok, people had drone footage that they put out there of him running the entire length of that ramp and literally cutting him in half.
Oh, it was great. I can't. That guy runs so. He has to run like a 4.65 or something.
Well, they say he
runs.
As
he is.
They say he runs the ropes at 23 miles an hour,
which is fucking nuts.
I don't even know how to comprehend that, honestly.
I don't. There's no way to. Tara's answering. They're 3 and 7. So in that case, I agree. Don't let them watch it. Let them believe as long as they can.
Yes. Yeah.
That I agree with. But it'll be something when they're 12 or 13. Then you go back and you show them all the seasons.
Yeah.
Once they'll know.
Well, especially because with how old they are right now, maybe not the 3-year-old because he's a little young, but the 7-year-old, we remember very vividly Macho and Hogan, Mega Powers Explode, whatever. You know, we remember those matches. He's going to remember Cody versus Cena.
Yeah.
And he's not even going to remember that there was all this drama about The Rock and Travis Scott. And he's going to go back and watch it and go, oh my God, all this stuff. He's going to be like, when I was 7, I saw one thing on TV and I had no clue all this other stuff was going on.
Yeah. It's true. They get tunnel vision just to what they, you know, like right now, like all these kids, it's all about Cody Rhodes. You know, it's tunnel vision on Cody or John Cena up until
recently.
Up until now. But, yeah. Well, other than that, this has taken us all to the top of the hour. Anything else going on? Anything else you guys want to bring up before we take it home?
Yeah, man. On Raw, who am I kidding? Fuck Goldberg.
I was waiting for it.
That's funny.
Like clockwork. All right. Well, I hear the music. I guess it's that time, guys. Thank you for tuning in. We do this every Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern time. Whatever platform you're listening on now, whatever app or website, just stick with it. We'll be right back there. Tuesday night, 9 p.m. So if you're on Facebook, whether you're on Steve's Facebook or you're on the Tag Me a Date Facebook, or whether you're on the Tag Me a Date YouTube page, that's where the live stream's always going to be. You can also follow us on social media on Facebook, Twitter/X, YouTube, Instagram, and a couple others at Tag Me a Date. That's all one word with no spaces. If you go to Facebook.com, type Tag Me a Date in the search bar, you'll find our page. Hit the thumbs up to like the page. And the live stream will be in your news feed at 9 p.m. on Tuesdays. But if you go to YouTube, you type Tag Me a Date in the search bar, you hit subscribe, and then you hit the notification bell, and you'll actually get a notification on your tablet or your phone when we're about to go live on a Tuesday night. If you follow us on social media, we do post shorts and reels of the show prior, the week before, leading up to the next Tuesday's show. And as I said, that's at Tag Me a Date. But if you prefer TikTok, it is the War Report Podcast. So if you type the War Report Podcast in on your TikTok app, give us a follow. You'll get those same reels and shorts that you would have gotten on Instagram or Twitter. So that's that. Oh, if you prefer the audio version instead of the video version, you can, of course, go to your favorite podcast app, Stitcher, SoundCloud, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Play Podcast. Type in Tag Me a Date, type in the War Report. You'll see the logo that's in the top right-hand corner of the screen over by Steve. You'll see our names in the description. Hit that subscribe button. We rip the audio. We upload it between Tuesday and Wednesday so you can take it with you wherever it is that you go. If you're driving, going to the gym, doing laundry, whatever, all you have to do is subscribe, and it is delivered right to your tablet or your phone by sometime on Wednesday. So with all that being said, thank you guys so much. Leave a like on your way out. Comment, subscribe. We'll see you next week. Have a great one.